August 5th, 2025. So there I got a call from a good customer of mine. I've done work for him in the past. He's got an old cast iron drain line system, and it's some of the areas are starting to leak, getting a little bubbly areas where it's starting to show potential leaks. So it looks like it's on a 4x2Y. Before it goes out of the house. So I gotta go over there and I'm gonna need to cut the rotted pipe out and replace it with newer pipe. So looks to me like it's old extra heavy cast iron, bell and spigot type of pipe, lead and oakum. So I'm gonna go over there and cut out what's bad, prop up the line, and run out and get some probably no hub fittings for it. Maybe a 4x2Y and some no hub clamps. And I won't know until I get over there and cut out what's bad and see what I need, make a list. And I don't want to make 2 trips to the supply house. I'd rather just go there and do 1 trip. That's my game plan, what I'm gonna do. And I'll try to get you some shots when I get over there. The extra heavy cast iron pipe is a different diameter than the newer stuff. They call it service weight or no hub. It's a bigger diameter than the extra heavy pipe. So if I have to, melt out a joint, if I use service weight in there, it's not going to have a lot of room to caulk the joint. The outside of the new pipe is bigger. I can cut the old pipe. If there's a little bit of a decent piece of pipe, I could make a cut and put a no hub clamp on it, and then go from there. That's going to be my first. Plan B. Plan A will be cut the pipe and get a good place where I can put a clamp and then add from there. That's what I'm going to attempt to do. Depends if it's rotted or not. On this stuff like this, you got to go and do the best what you got to work with. You're dealt a hand of cards, and you got to play those cards, whatever you're dealt with. So kind of the way this plumbing stuff is. You won't know until you get into it how bad it is and what you got to do to, moving forward here. It's pretty all basic stuff, but you have to go through the process first and find out, what you're going to need to do to fix it. So I'm going there first thing in the morning. They know what I'm going to be up against, so his wife's there working upstairs. So I'm gonna go there and start ripping and tearing and try to bring you along for the ride. Never a dull moment. I'll try to grind out whatever I can first with the grinder, and then the rest will have to be a sawzall. It's kind of like up against the wall, so I'm going to need to get the sawzall out with some cast iron blades and make some cuts. Takes a little longer with the sawzall, but when a lot of this old stuff, you don't want to use a snapper cutter because you could just crush the pipe. We'll have to look at it. Some of the old stuff's got lettering on it and brass lettering, which you got to grind down and get a smooth spot if you're going to put a clamp. We're going to try to make a cut here. The grinder, the sawzall. Make a cut here. Take that out. Make a cut here. be this one. As much as you can with the grinder. This will be with the. She's a gripper. Free. Alright, gotta cut this one now. This one might be a little harder. Maybe. You leave it. All I need is about an inch. Yeehaw! Got 8 inches there. I'll have to go get a Y.
and see what it is. Got about 8 inches. I mean, I could cut some more of that if I had to. 9.5 if I had to. About a 1/2 inch is what I need there. I might be able to cut a little bit off of this one and a little bit off of this one of the two. I'd rather not cut that bottom one. I'll cut a little bit off of this one. It'll be fine. I gotta put clamps in between, you know. Gotta have some space. About 2 1/8 or so. Give me some space. Alright, I got some marks here. I can cut it. rocket science. I just have to. I like to tighten the rest up by hand. I always like to do the last little bit by hand, to be honest with you. You don't strip it. You want to make sure you get it right where it needs to be, the clamp. We're going to leave the clamp on the top, the clamp that was up there on the top. And a piece that goes up there like that. piece that's 30 and 1/8. We'll leave a couple of clamps on there in case we're going to take that pipe out to snake it. That'll go in there fine. Get this apart. I left a clamp up top there in case they ever get this thing out. We'll just fucking clamp it. Jed clamp it. Not a big deal. Glue and cleaner. That's the ultraviolet cleaner. Put a clamp on it, Jed clamp it, and we'll be done. Wasn't so bad. Could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse. I had to go to plan B, which is never good. Plan B is never good. I always like to go plan A, if possible. try to go down there if possible. Nasty. It's a nasty one, Mom. He's a nasty one. A nasty one, Mr. Grinch. I always like to check it by hand. It should be fine. But I always like to check them by hand. Let's see, had to tighten that bottom one up some. I always like to double check it with the old
unknown caller.
The old hand action. Alright, she's running some water down it now. We'll see if it leaks. Might have to tighten up the stuff again. Give it a little bit. And in the meantime, I'll pick up my stuff. I did put a clamp there in case they ever want to take this piece out to snake it. Might have to. If we want to get that. I don't really want to change any of this stuff unless I have to. No vent. Looks like it's gonna be okay, I think. She's doing the old flusheroo on the shitter too, so I don't see nothing leaking. Might have to tighten it a little bit more. It's always good to let it sit and then tighten it some more by hand. I mean, it's an older. You get a little bit of, even if it drips a little bit, you get a little bit of shit in there and it'll seal it up. The drain, you know. Don't hurt to give it a little time and tighten it up some more. Working with a lot of old shit here. I mean, it's not 100% ideal. Alright, looks good. Get a little shit in there and it'll tighten it up.